Brooklyn Independent Television.
In the Zone is made possible with the generous underwriting support from the Brooklyn Cyclones. Tickets are on sale now. For information, 718-449-8497 or on the web at www.brooklyncyclones.com. The Cyclones are Brooklyn. Can you believe it? It's September and the high school football season is here. This week we are on location at Abraham Lincoln High School, home of the PSAL defending champs. Also joining me is the head coach of the Rail Splitters, Coach Shawn O'Connor. We also have Dexter Henry of Backpack Broadcasting and the coach, Darren Dixon, to discuss all that and more on This Week on In the Zone. In case you're just joining us, we're here at Abraham Lincoln High School in the middle of Coney Island, home of the PSAL High School Football Champions, the Abraham Lincoln High School Rail Splitters. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen. I have a couple of key gentlemen joining me this year. Also, they're seniors, and joining me is
Darnell Phillips, tight end, defensive end, number 11.
Your name?
Joe Busseret, offensive tackle, offensive guard, defensive tackle, number 73.
Well, let's go over last year. Undefeated. You end up defeating Erasmus Hall 20-12 at Yankee Stadium. Each week was a trial for you guys. You guys blew out some teams. You guys walked over a lot of teams, and some games were tight. But how did you feel overall about last season?
Coach always says taking one game at a time, no matter who we play. The only people that could beat us is ourselves. And each week was just another game we had to play to get to where we wanted to be, where we needed to be.
Basically, like, as he said, like, each week was basically another game just to play to make it to that big goal, which was Yankee Stadium. And for us, we prepared for each game. We bent our mindset on one game only at a time. We didn't put our heads forward for that Yankee Stadium. We just went one step at a time. You know,
in terms of you guys are the seniors this year, also, what did the graduating seniors tell you guys as, you know, they're gone right now. They're no longer here. So what did they tell you guys right now, going into this new season?
They told us, my fault. They told us just, like they did last year, we had to come in, work hard, step up as leaders. Since we're not juniors, we're seniors, we have to take control of the rest of the team. We got to be vocal, we got to lead by example. And they just told us, be better. They told us to be better than them. They challenged us to be better than them, and we got to step up.
And like, as we was juniors, they had a big role over us, and then towards the end of the season, they told us, like, as you come in a senior, there's a big role that you're supposed to take, and like, you're supposed to be more vocal than you was in your previous year, and you basically stepped up.
And you guys have fine examples, because it's not only what happens during the game, but also what happens during practice.
Yeah.
At practice, when guys are tired, you got to pick them up sometimes. In the sprints, you got to push them. It's little things, coaches, that matters.
Also, like in the school too, where they tell us always go to class, pass your classes. That's really education is really a big thing when you're trying to play college football and trying to go to the league. So education is really important.
Overall, when you look at your season too, were there any particular games that stood out? I know the championship game stood out. Were there any particular games during the regular season or during the playoffs that say, you know what, we got the team here?
Nah, every game's a challenge. Every game is, it doesn't matter who we playing, what color jersey they got on, we still got to play how we play.
Yeah, basically like a team's like a regular team to us. Basically, they're just another team that we got to beat and basically get to the big goal, which was Yankee Stadium.
Starting off a whole new season, what was Coach O'Connor's also, what did he tell you guys? I know he sat you guys down particularly, said, hey, you know what, I'm the coach, but this is your team. And you guys have to guide this team.
He has senior meetings with us sometimes, and he tells us like the things we're lacking, like if we're not vocal enough or if guys are slacking off, we got to pick each other up and whatnot. He was like, they're the coaches, but it is our team, and we do have to take control of most of their actions and what they do. And we finished the job last year, so we got to do whatever it takes to do it again this year.
What will it take to do it again this year?
We got to be better than last year's seniors. We have to work harder than them. We have to be here on time for practice, early for practice, work hard in practice. Before games, it doesn't matter.
Right. Like, you got to be dedicated, you got to be consistent, you got to be humble, and eventually it'll pay off.
When you look at the championship game, let's talk about that particular game. You defeated Erasmus Hall 20-12. Do you have any particular memories of that game? Because it was wet, it was rainy, it was warm too for December.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we was blessed with what type of weather for the championship game, December. So, like, even in the snow, we treated it like a regular game, no matter the weather, no matter hot or cold, no matter who we're playing. I ain't have no particular memories, just go out there and do what you gotta do.
A memory I had was at the end of the game where Coach O'Connor brought us all together. He had that championship raised in the air. That really got us hyped up, and we enjoyed it.
Now, this season, so now your first game is against DeWitt Clinton. Your second game in September is against, Tottenville High School, then you played Curtis. So Tottenville, and you play those games, you play those teams, Tottenville, Curtis, and DeWitt Clinton. September seems to be a pretty packed month for you guys.
Every month is a packed month. You know, every team is a different team. Every team has different weapons.
And now the thing is, the key is you're also the hunted.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really hunted because you guys were undefeated last year. So you are now hunted. You'll be hunted by the game.
Basically, like, now we have a bullseye on our back now. Everybody's trying to come after us, trying to say that they could beat us, but every game is another game, and we try to basically take over.
Well, you know, I want to wish you guys good luck for the season.
Thank you.
And say like that, young. And you know what? We'll have our eye on you guys during the course of the regular season. When we come back, we'll have more conversation with the Lincoln Rail Splitters right after this. First down, need is your name?
Denzel Duchesne.
And what school?
Abraham Lincoln.
So where's the look for you next year?
I'm headed to Virginia Union.
Robert Kitchen.
I know, Lincoln High School. So how would you evaluate the last 4 years?
Man, it was great, you know what I mean? Just capping it off with a championship, you know, finishing it off with my bros, and just been a great year, 4 years I'm Lincoln.
Christian, where are you going next year?
I'm going to University of Massachusetts.
Wayne Morgan.
Where are you going to school next year?
Syracuse University.
Tell us about your overall experience at Erasmus Hall and 4 years there, and now you're getting ready to leave. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel good about the career I had at Erasmus. I mean, I left them off in a good spot. So now I'm going up to Syracuse. I just got to do the same thing.
We're back here at Lincoln High School in Coney Island, home of the PSAL defending champs, the Lincoln High School Rail Splitters. And joining me is a couple of key seniors. Joining me is your name?
Charles Brownwell. I'm a senior. I play defensive end and center.
Malik Darren, senior linebacker and running back.
How does that feel after 4 years? Senior.
We finally made it.
We finally made it. It's a bittersweet feeling. You know, it's coming to an end, but at the same time, we enjoyed ourselves here.
Does a lot of responsibility come with being a senior?
Yeah,
a lot.
It's not that much of us, so we got to pick up each other more than what we did last year. We got to pick it up a lot.
Now, a lot of players have left.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of gaps to fill, right?
Yeah.
How you guys go about filling those gaps?
We got the players to do it.
Yeah.
We just got to have the focus and mentality because we know we're a target this year.
Yeah, how's that feel?
Being a target? We're used to adversity, hurricanes, earthquakes. We played all through it.
The whole nine.
Snowstorms. So we're going to take anything that comes our way.
We got the guys with the work ethic that can get through it, pays no attention, just do what we got to do in practice, and just get those W's like when the season comes.
Speaking of that earthquake, you guys were practicing during that time.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Earthquake last August, I believe. Yeah. Let's go over last year. I know you guys say, hey, you know what? It's game by game. I hear that all the time. Give me something else. How did you guys really take the season? And when did you realize you were into some sort of a groove as a team? Was there any particular point, mid-season, towards the end of the season, playoffs, during the snowstorm?
Well, I feel like we were in a groove since weightlifting and spring ball, because we just had the guys that have been together for a long while now, and we just got on the field, we did what we had to do.
Yeah, I feel like it's from weightlifting too. We try to get into a mentality that we know we got to win a championship, but we're going to take it game by game.
So it all starts during those spring weightlifting sessions. How does that start? Tell me, how do you guys come to become such a cohesive unit?
Well, it starts with no days off. A week after the championship game, we were back out weightlifting, going hard as usual.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
hopefully we can repeat this year by doing the same thing.
Now, the practices right now, we're in September. You know, you guys open it up against DeWitt Clinton. You play Tottenville High School here at night, and then you play Curtis High School. September is a month to remember for the
Yeah. Well, I feel like based off last year, teams felt that we got it easy, and they should have tried to beef up our schedule more, but we're ready. We're going to come out and do what we have to do in practice. Wherever it is, we got to do it.
And then you play Flushing High School. I know Flushing High School, I believe, is in October. And then Canarsie, and then again you meet your old nemesis, Erasmus Hall. Now, I know you guys know each other too. You guys probably hang out with each other during the summer or whatever. What did those players say about that particular game to you on a personal note?
Well, on a personal,
because you guys beat them 20 to 12, right?
Yeah. They say, if we had so-and-so, it would be a different game or the whole nine, but we paid no attention because we know we worked hard for it, and we got a W because we worked hard.
Because I feel like every team can have talent, but the whole team has to be in one unit to win a game.
And injuries are part of the game, so we can't say if I coulda, woulda, shoulda,
right? You gotta
right?
be able to recover, as a team as a whole.
But Coach, you guys could have had a couple of key players out.
Yeah, we're deep in positions.
Yeah. So going into this season, you play Erasmus. Is there any particular moment, and also when you look at that championship game at Yankee Stadium, what did that mean to yourself, your family, also to the high school in general here at Lincoln, playing there at Yankee Stadium?
As a sophomore, I went, and I saw the team face defeat, and I had a bad feeling in my mouth.
You lost to Fort Hamilton, right? 8-6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just took it personal, as in we're gonna come back and work hard. We're gonna get the championship this year. And I felt like, in a way, we did work hard, but we kind of let down the Lincoln family a little bit. Yeah. And we just wanted to get that win back from them.
I feel like the second time around, it was not winning. Like, we had to take it this time. We had a lot of attention on us, a lot of media, but it didn't mean anything. We locked in and we won.
What has been also your coach's advice to you guys? I know before the season started, he set you guys down, especially you guys being key seniors. What did he tell you guys? Did he say, hey, this is your team, I'm the coach, but on the field, it's your spot?
That's exactly what he told us.
Yep. Same thing, he said the same thing, took the words right out of his mouth, same thing. He just told us to stay humble, and now you have to step up because you have a bigger role. Last year, senior, they stepped up, they did a thing that's basically their championship, now it's time to get our championship now.
Under all the media glare, there were a lot of folks that predicted you guys wouldn't be here at the championship and playing in that game. I guess maybe I was one of them, But how did you guys feel about that criticism also from the media? And did you pay attention to a lot of that?
We don't pay attention to the media at all.
We don't really pay attention. We just take it and make it fuel us.
Yeah.
Go hard on practice. We had that stuff. We go hard on practice. We go hard on game, and we just basically put the PSAL on notice. Like, well, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, we're gonna play our game.
The game that was with the inclement weather. Let's go over that game. The snow.
Oh, that game was a roller coaster. When we went in after pre-practice, it was just raining. Came out. We saw hail, snow,
everything.
It was all messed up. But it was a fun game though. It took me back to Pop Warner days.
Yeah, that's one game I'll never remember. I always remember.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
You guys beat him so bad, right? You don't even remember.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on. I want to wish you luck, and we will keep our eye on you during the course of the season. We come back. We're going to talk to Coach Shawn O'Connor on In the Zone right after this, folks.
Jessel Jones.
And let's talk about your experience at Lincoln High School. Evaluate that 4-year period.
Best 4 years of my life so far, and hopefully it gets better from here. But my 4 years at Lincoln was absolutely the best.
What are your thoughts about your overall 4 years at Zavarian?
Sure, it's just a tremendous honor just to even play high school football. It's been a great experience for me, and now it's time to move on.
So where are you going next year?
I'll be going to Wagner College in Staten Island.
Alvin Cornelius in Tonneville High School.
Let's evaluate your 4 years at Tonneville High School.
It actually went pretty fast. I remember freshman year, just like yesterday, coming up on varsity as a freshman, and I actually did start my first game of the season, and I really did. My senior year, I set a record for the most scoring touchdowns, so I actually did pretty good my 4 years.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining me, we're here at Lincoln High School, home of the PSAL defending football champions, the Rail Splitters. And joining me is the head coach, Shawn O'Connor. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a great honor.
Coach, you know, you had quite a season last year. You guys been undefeated, 9-0. You defeated Erasmus Hall 20-12 at Yankee Stadium. It was an excellent way to wrap up the season. And you also lost a lot of seniors to graduation.
Yeah, absolutely. We lost 20 starting seniors, 20 seniors that had tremendous impact on this program. Those seniors went 25-1 in the 2 years on varsity and 9-1 on their junior varsity career. So we're hoping they left behind a winning tradition with our new group of kids coming behind. So I mean, you know, that was a tremendous group, and I think that they, besides the on-the-field aspect of what they brought this program, the off-field in the weight room and the practice tempo, we're hoping that's going to rub off on this year's group.
And they said that, these seniors I spoke to earlier, they said it all started in the weight room.
Yeah, well, this year's group is doing the same. I mean, they're competing really hard in the weight room as well, trying to beat last year's records and Lincoln records. So we always talk about trying to beat, you know, worry about Lincoln first, putting Lincoln together, our team, our atmosphere, our competition, our competitive level. And this year, this group, we only have 10 seniors, but those 10 seniors are doing a great job of that.
Now, previous year, the year before, you lost to Fort Hamilton 8-6, but the aspect of coming back again and playing in the title game again, you know, to repeat that is phenomenal.
Well, that was a tremendous by all the coaches that are in this program. I have a great coaching staff, and really seniors that I had in last year's group. They really shocked a lot of people, and one reason I say shocked a lot of them because a lot of people didn't know who they were. They didn't know who Justin Jones was, a starting quarterback, or you know, and Amani Gordon, a left tackle, and Keon Barnwell, a right tackle. Those guys didn't start their junior years. They started only their senior years. They hung in there, and they committed themselves. They went all in the off season, and it all paid off.
And they said no matter what, I was talking to one of the players, he said, and we did it all through rain, snow, and earthquake. There was an earthquake, right? We practiced doing it.
Yeah, we had a lot of different weather aspects last year. Earthquakes, hurricanes, rain, snow game in Canarsie, and the atmosphere was very good with the team as far as just adapting to whatever. Huge crowds, small crowds, under the lights, in the lights, and just blocking out things and being focused and locked in. And again, we're hoping that that's going to transform over to this year's group.
Yeah, like Erasmus Hall, that championship game, let's talk about that particular game, the mindset of that team going into that game.
Well, going into that game, that group was not caught up in the pageantry of the Yankee Stadium. I think, you know, a lot had to do, obviously, a lot of them were there the year before. And, you know, not getting caught up as a big game, trying to treat it as another game. You know, we played a lot of games that were no games, were no contests, and the guys never looked at the scoreboard. They played hard. So that was a sign to me that I think they could do something well.
Was there a sign to you also about this team that, you know what, I got a great group of guys here. Was there a particular game? Was it the snow game?
Well, the particular game that sticks out in my head with the group from last year was the Sheep's Bay game in the night. I know we were, at that point, we have never trailed anybody. We opened up against the Utrecht. We trailed them for the first 3 minutes. So now we're playing Sheep's Bay here, and they actually tied us. Going into the halftime, close to halftime, there's about 1:50 left in the game, 14 up. And the first time we were being tested. We scored 2 touchdowns before the end of this halftime. It was 1:50. We scored 2 touchdowns. Being tied up, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. They were being tested, and they responded well. And from that point on, we were never behind in any game. The whole rest of the season, we led in every single game. And so that Sheepshead game showed me something about that crew.
Also, this team was under the media glare, the media spotlight. You had a particular show, I believe, on WPIX.
Yeah, City Gridiron.
How did it feel to have that glare, under that glare?
Well, I think it's good. It was good for the kids. It was great for the program and great for the city. You know, first of all, it helps out kids get exposure for colleges. I actually had some colleges call me who've seen the show and asked our kids. It also prepares kids for college how to deal with that. And then the most important thing team-wise, like you said, being on the spotlight and being able to lock in and be focused. That's why I got you guys here today. Let them lock in.
DeWitt Clinton, first game of the year in Tottenville, and then Curtis High School, September.
Yeah, well, it's here. I mean, DeWitt Clinton. I mean, we lost to them. We beat them in the semifinals here. They got, and I'm sure they're going to be coming with a big bullseye on our back. Looking, we ended their season. They got Coach Langley and Coach Vega over there. They do a great job with the kids. They're a physical team. They're fast. They always said traditionally have a lot of speed. So we're expecting a real good competition game, man. So we're really gearing up for that.
Well, Coach, I'd like to wish you luck in the regular season. And I know I will see you during the course of the regular season. Absolutely. And hopefully into the playoffs.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thanks, Adam. We'll be back with more of In the Zone right after this, folks. Let's talk about your overall career at Lincoln. Now that that's over, how do you look back at your career?
Great, because I ended off with a championship. Like, all the other accolades are special, but the most important thing is the championship, and that's what we got for coaching the team and the fans. So that's the most great experience at Lincoln.
Now that you graduated, where are you going?
CW Post.
David White.
How was your, what high school did you go to?
I went to Herbert A. Sleeman High School in the Bronx.
And how would you evaluate your 4 years there?
It was great. I led the city in rushing this year. I finished off strong. You know, it was great. I love my 4 years at Lehman. If I could do it over, I'd do it over.
Paul Skorko.
And Paul, what high school?
Curtis High School.
Curtis High School. How would you evaluate your 4 years at Curtis High School?
I'd say it's the best 4 years of my life. I experienced a lot of things I never had, and I made a lot of good friendships. So.
Well, folks, we are towards the end of our show, and joining me is a couple of gentlemen I've known for quite some time, basically since I started here. And his name is Dexter, and also Darren, Dixon, but we'll get to Darren a little bit later. But Dexter's worked for several news media outlets here in the city, and Dexter, you're on your own, right?
Yeah, on my own. Have my own company, Backpack Broadcasting, do reporting on sports, PSAL football, basketball. So it's a good thing going. A lot of independent journalism. People like it. Students like it, so it's good.
And it's a different perspective that you bring.
Yeah, just bringing a different
It's not the
perspective.
same old.
Yeah, but also just giving people, different options.
Different complexion to it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And also Darren Dixon, the coach who knows football talent throughout the city and has also worked with a lot of these kids too.
Absolutely. I work with PSAL, I actually coach with the PSAL, Canarsie, Sheepshead Bay. I've actually worked with Lincoln a couple of years. And I'm just out here to, introduce some of the new talent that's coming out and hang out with Mike for an hour or two.
Oh man, that's great. All right, good. All right, let's get over that. All right, cool. Enough of that. Now let's talk about the football season that is ahead of us. We're here at Lincoln High School, home of the PSAL defending champs. What is the likelihood of them repeating, going in for a repeat? Because the previous year they lost 8-6 to Fort Hamilton. Last year they won it. They beat Erasmus Hall 20-12 at Yankee Stadium. And the other question I also got to ask you before we get into that, do you like the fact that they are playing at Yankee Stadium? Because a lot of folks don't like, some folks I spoke to say they could do without it, obviously at Midwood. But for the kids' sake, Yankee Stadium's not a bad place. But go ahead.
I love the fact that they're at Yankee Stadium. I mean, I guess it's a better venue than Midwood Field. Midwood Field, they've been there for quite a few years, and now that they have this new home in Yankee Stadium, the kids love it, the fans love it. I mean, there's a couple of people that don't really care about it, but for the most part, it's great.
And it's for the kids anyway.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked it at Midwood Field, but the venue is not the greatest one, so I can understand why Darren says that he likes it at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium, obviously, the baseball stadium, but the football games that have been held there, Army's played there recently, Notre Dame, people have said that...
Morgan State, Grambling, Morgan State and Hampton this year, folks, anyway.
Got to shout those schools out. So people have liked the events that have been held there, and it's worked well. So if the kids like it, I'm all for it.
So what does it look like for the Rail Splitters for you this year for you guys?
Well, it's hard to compete. They have the talent, they have the coaching staff.
A lot of players have left.
They have the experience, yeah, but they got new guys that's coming up, and they're just going to fill in and take their place. It's very hard to compete in the PSAL because of the power ranking. And where you finish at the end. That's what makes it hard.
And that's in the championship division.
Right.
Because they have the championship, they have the bowl, and they have the cup.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for them to expect them to repeat again. It's hard to repeat any time in PSAL with football. But as Darren said, they have the talent there. They've got a talented young running back who got some carries in the sophomore season, was averaging over 7 yards a game. He can come right in that feature role and do that. So if the running game is strong, I think they can compete. I wouldn't count them out. But there are other teams that have more experience coming back that I think, will be at the top.
Okay, speaking of the teams coming back, we have the Orange Wave. Jefferson, they're supposed to have the player in the state.
No, they do have the player
Ebenezer,
in the state.
Did I say his name right?
You said it.
Did I say it right?
You got it.
Ebenezer, if I didn't, not
Don't worry, he'll chase you down if you got it.
All right, but go ahead.
The last time I spoke to him, he was undecisive whether he wants to go to Notre Dame or Syracuse. Those are the two schools that he has in mind, and I'm not sure if he picked one yet, but that's where his mindset is. He's trying to decide which one of those he will go to. I think personally, if it was up to me, I would tell him to go where you're going to play, bottom line. Whichever one of those schools you're going to play at, that's the one you go to. That would be my advice to him.
Oh, is Syracuse a likely place that he might play, Dexter?
Yeah, I think that's the place he can get definitely the most playing time if he went to Syracuse. Obviously, be a good fit for him. And I kind of agree with Darren. I would tell any kid, hey, Go where you can play. You know, this is a sport where you don't know what your shelf life is going to be, you know, playing the game. So get the best opportunity for you.
Is it also good to play within your region? Not that these kids cannot compete with the talent, maybe in the SEC and across the school, the other schools across the country, because a lot of our kids have. But politically and regionally, are they better off staying within this region?
Not necessarily. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that, but not necessarily. It all depends on the kid. You know, if they can compete in the classroom and they can deal with the atmosphere where they are, not in their region, then okay. If it's a kid that's probably going to get homesick real quick, yes. But for the most part, no. No, I don't think that really matters.
College is one of the biggest decisions, you know, these kids at this age are going to make in their lives. So if they know they can handle being away from home, you know, homesick, that's a huge factor, as Darren mentioned. If they know they can handle that, along with the other pressures of competing, playing on the team, and doing everything that's, you know, asked of them, they know they can handle that, then they should do what's best.
Let's move across to Staten Island real quick, where they say Tottenville's also one of the teams to beat this year. Brandon Barnes, quarterback, injured last year. He's back. He's a senior.
I like Tottenville. Tottenville was pretty good last year. But I think there's another team that you got to look out for, too. You got to look out for the Orange Crush. They are up and coming. I believe that they're going to be a team that you got to watch out for. I really do.
Right, so in Brooklyn, it's the Orange Crush.
In Brooklyn, the Orange Crush. That's my...
What about in the Bronx, DeWitt Clinton?
DeWitt Clinton, I mean, you know, they were right there. They've got some great talent coming back again. For me, really, I'm high on Tottenville. Why? Because they've got a quarterback leader who had a 91 plus QB rating last year. He's now coming back. He knows how to lead the team, and I think that's really invaluable when you're looking at high school football. A quarterback that knows how to lead, got some experience last year, can now put it.
Okay, real quick. Also, I know my producer's over there. He's giving me the finger to wrap it up. Not that finger, but he's giving me the finger to wrap it up. But anyway, let's talk about where we got in the bowl division. It was Madison High School in the Cup. It was McKee. How do you guys see it real quick across in the bowl, in the championship, and in the Cup real quick? Do you see these guys winning it again? Or you see?
I see them competing for it again. I see they'll be in it. They're right there. They're the champs. You can't take that away.
Fort Hamilton.
I like Fort.
Okay. Oh, you like it? All right. Cool. You know what? We'll see, gentlemen. We'll have our eye on the football season during the course of the fall.
Keep an eye open for South Shore.
We'll do that.
And the Orange Wave,
like
you said.
All right, well, folks, we are out of time here on In the Zone. I'm Micheal Bellamy. Take care. Thanks for joining me from Lincoln High School. Take care and enjoy the football season. Bye-bye. In the Zone has been made possible with the generous underwriting support from the Brooklyn Cyclones. Tickets are on sale now. For information, 718-449-8497 or on the web at www.brooklyncyclones.com. The Cyclones are Brooklyn.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.